Descendant, I have pinpointed the location where all of the Ironheart traces converge. It is hidden within the facility of the Legion of Immortality. I can detect a continuous Ironheart pulse and particles, as well as a small amount of energy from this place. And they seem to be moving. I recommend we investigate this place, Descendant.
Do you truly plan on inverting the Ironheart data? If you do that, we won't be able to decipher the unidentified guide code, and
Enough! The Ironheart data must be reconfigured in order to destroy the dimensional wall. I don't have time to think about that! Understand my vision now, don't you?
Oh, of course. I am only thinking of our research.
I'm glad to hear that our objectives are aligned. Initiate the data inversion. Tip-off will engulf Increase. The roars of the Vulgus will fill this land with fear.
But why? What is the ultimate purpose?
I have the results of the operation from Sharon. Alpha is tied up with an emergency meeting with the Magisters. I have been ordered to brief you on the follow-up operation. Please make your way to HQ. Excellent work, Descendant. This operation has yielded many results, both positive and negative. Firstly, all of HQ is encouraged by the possibilities presented by the guide. Although we were unsuccessful in our retrieval of the Ironheart, thanks to the guide's tracking function, we uncovered the Vulgus restricted zone and Alzarok. This proves the guide's tracking system exists and is operational. However, the ingenuity that the Vulgus demonstrated with their use of the Ironheart was alarming. So much so, that the Magisters requested an emergency meeting with Alpha. In particular, the inversion of the Ironheart ordered by Corral is something we must understand, no matter the cost. From this point forward, HQ plans to adopt the Guide's tracking functionality and the various other information sources they offer as official operational elements. Before you go, Descendant, I have a personal request. Can you retrieve the Alzarok autopsy report from Jeremy? The report was intended for delivery to the Magisters. Jeremy requested a brief look at it, and I haven't heard from him since.
What the? You're still alive? I was just reading the report on Alzarok and thinking, wouldn't it be great if he, killed you? Anyway, looks like you got to experience something interesting at least. A Vulgus redesigned by the Ironheart. Wow. Now, that's an area that fascinates me. If I knew you'd be seeing that, I would have stuck with the operation instead of dropping out. And I wouldn't have been slapped by Alpha. Anyway, why are you here? I'm in a bad enough mood already after Sharon and her minion drop by to give me a piece of their minds? What? Nell wants the report? Ah, so you're her gopher. You really are something. You can take it and buzz off. You probably don't have time to argue with me anyway. Sharon mentioned earlier that the guide isn't in the best shape. All these so-called grown-ups having fun with their imaginary friend. Oh, get lost! You're annoying me!
Descendant, something has altered the properties of the Iron Heart I was connected to. As soon as we returned to Albion, I leapt between the arcade of different descendants in order to find Iron Heart traces. I discovered traces in the desert and forest areas, and at that moment, I felt great pain. In human terms, it felt like my skin was peeling off and my flesh was melting. Descendant, I suspect this phenomenon is caused by an inversion process. If Corel and Eamon had enough time after moving the Iron Heart, they may have managed to perform it. However, aside from this pain, I was unable to obtain any further information. Descendant, a Colossus has appeared. This Colossus, is it merely coincidence? Can this truly be unrelated to the Iron Heart inversion?
Classification type, stunning beauty. All descendants in Albion, prepare for an intercept battle.
They're arriving on the daily! And not just any Colossus, but stunning beauty? Somebody buy Alpha a new pen? He's gonna have to write so many letters of condolences today.
Alpha let him off with just a slap in the face. He should have gone after his neck.
Agreed.
I don't disagree. Stunning beauty is a colossus which is insensitive to energy. Even during the apocalypse, only a few of them are recorded to have appeared in Ingress. But now, suddenly, one is making its way to Ingress. This is not a situation to be taken lightly. Descendant, I'll send you to the Void Dimension once you have finished battle preparations. I hope the intercept is successful. Descendant, you have been successful. We live in uncertain times, but thankfully the skills of the Descendants remain stable and unchanged. Even if using the word stable in our current situation is embarrassingly ironic. The dimensional wall is currently in the worst state it has ever been. Before now, it was almost unheard of for an energy-insensitive colossus like Stunning Beauty to be able to find its way here. We must find the Iron Heart and connect it to the Prime Hands as soon as possible.
I suppose everyone thinks the dimensional wall is the only answer.
Are you saying it isn't?
I cannot say whether it is or not. As we do not have an Iron Heart, nothing can be proven.
You think too much. We should find a heart and prove it then. I'm pretty sure there's one in Vespers. Traces from another Iron Heart have been discovered in a forest in Vespers. I've already spoken with HQ. Let's discuss operation strategies. Come with me.
We've received operation details. The Iron Heart pulse has supposedly been detected in this area, but it's impossible to triangulate since it's dispersed in several directions.
That's correct, Glay. I can feel it clearly, but it's hard for me to pinpoint its exact position. However, I can confirm it is in this zone.
We were deployed here to find one thing, and now we also have to find the Iron Heart. We'll have to look under every rock in Vespers.
Freyna and I were sent here to look for a group of Vulgus, who have stolen RK serum from Jaber and some other descendants. Freyna, Sharon, even I've already had my RK serum stolen by them once. Things will only get worse if we let them take any more of it.
Those bastards. They satisfy their own desires by taking everything we humans have. They have to be stopped.
This place has been mentioned in records throughout history. And as the name suggests, these are the ruins. Turns out this is where the greatest recorded number of ancestors gathered. Investigation by the excavation team and analysis by the Magisters uncovered records mentioning the breakout of civil war. The ruins are evidence, remnants of this war. We don't yet know why the Civil War happened. Albion collapsed as a result of the war, and this is the only surviving record.
Given the Ironheart is here, that may have been a factor behind the outbreak of any civil war. Past or present, the Ironheart definitely has the capability to turn the fate of Ingress upside down. That hasn't changed. There were bound to be conflicts.
This is the first I've heard of this civil war. Frena's theory is quite interesting. The Ironheart in Ingress. It could be powerful and dangerous enough to turn the fate of everything in existence upside down.
You're here. It's a good thing I took this side. Neither you nor Glay would have lasted. Let's go find this entrance.
Analyzing layout of the ruins. RK covers 40% of the entire area. A point of note, the RK corresponds to a single pattern, unlike the patterns of Descendants. According to the layout analysis results, the location of these readings is identical to that used for tombs and altars. If I compile all of the data we have gathered, there is a high probability that this is the tomb of one of the ancestors who died during the Civil War. The fact that they were laid to rest in such a deep location, either they were an ancestor of a high status, or they played an important role in the incidents related to the Ironhearts. I've identified a Vulgus communications frequency being transmitted nearby. It will likely contain information we need. We should investigate. The Ironheart isn't here. The Vulgus came to excavate the remains of the ancestor. They plan to use this to open the ancestor's vault.
I don't understand. The remains of an ancestor or a vault? What do you mean?
If the vault contains an Ironheart, it may have been placed there intentionally to prevent someone from claiming it. The reason the Vulgus have extracted DNA from the remains is likely because the vault can only be accessed through a bioscan.
If that's the case, then the occupant of this tomb is the same individual who locked the vault.
That's correct. They must be planning to use the DNA to allow them to bypass the biometric authentication and claim the Ironheart.
This device interferes with the seed links. I'll restore the disrupted communication. Noise removal complete. Checking contents. Sender, Enzo. He says the Vulgus have been spotted moving to another zone.
Have they found a way to open the vault already? Damn it! We need to get to that vault.
Wait. We should secure the ancestors' remains and the data just in case. If the vault can only be accessed through the biometric authentication of specific DNA, then we'll need that DNA as well.
I have disabled the Vulgus data repository for now. I have also collected the data formatted sample of the remains.
Well, that's a relief. I can't stand it when things go according to Vulgus plans. Let's deal with these bastards quickly and get moving.
Oh, how the weak struggle to define their purpose. Humans truly are foolish and arrogant. Have you not yet learned that you are merely sacrificial offerings for us? Consider this an honor. Your flesh and blood will be offered for their glory.
This is Alpha. Comms have been stabilized. All units return to Albion. Prepare for the next operation.
We've confirmed the transmitted data. There's a vault where the ancestors kept the Ironheart. We can use this to our advantage. The Vulgus will need time to crack open the vault. Enzo, send the sample of the ancestors' remains received from the guide to Anais and tell her to hurry. We need to analyze the DNA and activate the biometric authentication before the Vulgus do. And to do that, we need to increase our combat forces in the field. I'll send any off-duty descendants, rendezvous with them at the outpost, and proceed with the operation.
Jeez, why am I being called in? I thought I'd be getting some R&R. Making me work with crazies thinking they see a ghost. Nah, I've got other things to do.
Jeremy, there's an Ironheart in this zone. Have you forgotten that finding the Ironheart is the #1 priority for all Descendants? Also, since you've been assigned to a mission, you should conduct yourself properly. Continue to be uncooperative, and I will report you to your superiors.
An Ironheart? Oh, man, why didn't you say so from the start?
Oh, I don't like him. Alright. On to the next area.
I only picked up bits and pieces earlier. I didn't realize it was such an emergency. An Ironheart. Right in front of us. Oh. The place will be crawling with Corell's minions, but don't worry. I can take this opportunity to show you what an awesome Descendant I am. I'm curious what Guide's reaction will be after I carry this entire operation. Let me know, will ya? Alrighty. Shall we get this show started? I'll use my incredible teleportation skills to scout all of the underground spaces.
If the Vulgus are on the verge of opening the vault, then they'll likely report to their superior, Corell.
In which case, we'll need a way to tap into their comms. Guide, check and see if there are any ally devices nearby we can use to wiretap.
There is one ally communications repeater. If I modify the code, it can be altered to enable wiretapping.
That should work. We should spread out and continue with the mission.
First of all, this is only a theory for now. I must review the enemy's data before I can be certain. I have some ideas on why the enemy is collecting organic matter, and I have reached a hypothetical conclusion. The most probable reason is that their DNA analysis is still incomplete, and they're looking for materials to use as part of it.
In order to extract pure DNA from something, you need a refining process to remove all the other materials mixed in.
And once refinement has been completed, you will still need to perform an amplification process. This process requires certain enzymes.
So what you're saying, Guide, is that the Vulgus are extracting the enzymes they need from the giant tree.
In a way, yes. As the giant tree has existed since the time of the ancestors, it will have accumulated a variety of organic matter. It may store materials which are difficult to find even now. The Vulgus may have predicted this. It is likely that they intend to extract all of the remaining organic matter left in the giant tree in order to find the enzymes required for amplification.
If we can seize what they extract and send it to Albion, we can expedite our research process.
I guess we have our answer then. Let's hurry. It's our turn to take something from them. Let's make them pay for messing with us.
Hey, you! Are you slowpokes done? I almost fell asleep because you guys were taking too long. If you're done, come to the outpost. No, wait, would it be faster if I came to you? What are you doing, sightseeing? This operation is a waste of time, a complete waste. You keep telling me I need to cooperate, but I think you guys are the uncooperative ones.
Jeremy, unless your receive is having issues, there is no way you didn't know we were in the middle of an operation. It's prohibited for Descendants to deactivate their receives during an operation. If you manually deactivated your receive link, I think that would make your attitude toward the operation uncooperative.
I'd watch what you're saying, Glay. I carried out my side of the operation perfectly. I scouted the entire area thoroughly. I've even confirmed that the Ancestors' ruins are in the deepest part of Vespers. How dare you question my attitude? God, I don't know why Alpha looks out for you guys so much. Maybe he feels sorry for you being possessed by the ghost or guide or whatever. If it's because he pities you, well, I guess normal me has no choice but to be understanding. I'll distract the enemy's backlines just for you pitiful lot. You can follow me and push through. You three, no, is it for? Anyway, you're all deployed, so let's cooperate and get this operation done without any mistakes. Also, I've been assigned to retrieve the Ironheart, so don't any of you think about touching it. I'm warning you.
Blazze, your anger levels are rising.
I'm doing my best to let it go.
I don't blame her. I don't blame her one bit.
Knock, knock. Who's there? It's Pseudo. Descendant, I presume? You can't just let our equipment be, can you?
What? My EST channel was just switched. Enzo, there's something wrong with the EST channel. Enzo, respond!
It's on check. I forced you to connect to my personal channel. You see, I'm brilliant, just like you. Now, let's play, fellow RK wielder.
Unless there's something wrong with my ears. Sounded to me like this jerk said he has RK abilities.
You heard me correctly, friend. You're curious about my RK, aren't you? Let me fill you in. I injected myself with the RK that I stole from you. Oh, the power flowing through my body. What an exhilarating experience. And you were keeping all this power for yourselves. I hated you so much that I could have killed you all in an instant.
It appears that the genetic modification we saw earlier was successful.
Now, why don't you come here and give my cold, frozen body a hug, friend?
Vulgus bastards. They weren't just researching ways to open the vault.
Now it's clear why the Order of Truth was there. To create this monstrosity. If they only wanted to retrieve the DNA, they would have sent the Legion of Immortality.
Knock, knock. Knock, knock. Hey, hey. How hard did you hit this? What a brainless brute. You really want to fight me, huh?
This device can force channels to change. If we destroy it, we will be able to connect to the HQ channel again.
Channel reconnection confirmed. The EST channel is back online. Guy, please modify this code so that the channel cannot be disconnected again.
I have established a defensive security code. Communications will not be affected in the future.
It doesn't feel too bad to have my limbs cut off like this. It almost feels like I'm dreaming. I'll send you a little present soon.
What is that? There's a strange image on the command HUD. Is that Jaber?
Vulgus don't usually dream. But thanks to the RK serum, I dream my every moment. You can call me Jaber.
The serum that was injected into the Vulgus was from Jaber. Ironheart pulses have increased significantly. The vault must be nearby.
I'll send a signal to Jeremy. Jeremy, do you read me? Jeremy. Jeremy, respond. Hang on just a little longer, everyone.
It's so nice to see your face, friend. Can you call me Jaber just this once? Here I am. Eamon's delay has changed our plans, but it can't be helped. In my next dream, I'll be dancing with your corpse!
Oh, wow. You've completely lost it, haven't you? Listen. If you spotted the target, you should have said so. What are you doing here by yourself? So this is what's gotten everybody so riled up. That's it. That's what makes us the Ironheart. It's way more impressive than what the rumors say. Hey, how long do you plan on just standing there? Go back to Albion and bring reinforcements or something. Why are you still here? Go!
I don't trust them either. That's your chance. He can't teleport away. He's probably not faster than a bullet. No? Okay.
So, it's just the two of us now.
Descendant, do you have something positive to report, finally? Where's the Ironheart now? What? I gave the order for Jeremy to retrieve the Ironheart. I never did that. There must have been a misunderstanding. Nell, did you send those instructions?
I've done no such thing over any official channel, and even unofficially. I have no reason to contact him. Something's not right. Could it be?
Nell, contact Jeremy. Now.
I can't get through to Jeremy. His Deceive has been deactivated. And there's no record of him entering Albion either.
It can't be. Jeremy is still a Descendant, even if he's sometimes led astray. He's a Descendant fighting for humanity who despises the Vulgus with every fiber of his being.
Alpha, we should see if we can detect Jeremy's RK and traces of the Ironheart through the guide.
Descendant, I've heard about Jeremy. But there's something I must tell you first. When I came into contact with the energy from the second Ironheart, a new function was restored to my system. It's an algorithm for amplifying the void energy sensory field. An early warning system for detecting colossi that are drawn to the Ironheart. However, perhaps because it was transferred through Jeremy's RK, which I am not synced with, my operating system is rejecting this function. Even now, alarm bells are ringing. My functions have been interrupted and my system cannot be recalibrated. Descendant, I am in no doubt that a Colossus is heading towards Ingress at this very moment. Please transfer my sensory field amplification algorithm to Seneca. If we can intercept that Colossus and recalibrate my system, Jeremy and the Ironheart can be found.
Descendant, is this code related to the Void? This algorithm is sophisticated enough to be applied right away. This is truly incredible. So this is the power of the guide that the Descendants have spoken of. But now is not the time to marvel at it. Based on the results calculated from the amplified sensory field, it seems a powerful Colossus, the Executioner, is heading toward Ingress. As you likely recall from your Descendant training, the blade wielded by the Executioner is a sensitive conductor. If you allow it to power up, it will increase the time you spend in the Void. And the likelihood of failing to intercept the Colossus increases exponentially. Descendant, please proceed with the intercept immediately.
Not bad.
You succeeded in intercepting the Executioner. An extraordinary display of skill. If there was a Descendant like you a century ago, I'm certain we would have been able to stop the apocalypse.
Descendant, thanks to you, the stability of my system was restored. However, the Iron Heart has slipped from our grasp. While you were stopping the Colossus, I delivered the necessary information to Enzo. It is likely that HQ will be preparing countermeasures.
Ah, Descendant. You're here. Thank you for all your hard work with the intercept battle. Unfortunately, we need to drag you into another operation before you get a chance to rest. Albion has entered uncharted territory. A Descendant has committed treason. A Descendant. Someone who should have been humanity's beacon of hope. Damn it! How could this have happened? HQ has officially denounced Jeremy as a traitor. A rapid arrest operation is in progress. Enzo received intel from the guide and was first on the scene. Jeremy is heading towards Echo Swamp. As the enemy's attention is keenly focused on this location, and because of the swampy terrain, deployment of forces on a large scale will be difficult. To make matters worse, we've lost contact with Essimo. He was carrying out another operation in the area. Essimo's support was vital. Enzo won't be able to command and fight by himself. Our lack of manpower is delaying the operation. If we don't hurry, we'll be delivering the Ironheart to the Vulgus on a silver platter after we worked so hard to get it. We must prevent that from happening at all costs. Rules of engagement for Jeremy will be sent separately. If possible, I would like to have him brought back alive. I want to hear what he was thinking as his commander, and why he did what he did. Go after Jeremy, and please, find the Ironheart and bring it back.
All right, we've had some delays, but I'm happy to say we can now restart the pursuit. First things first, as we've lost contact with Essimo, and there are no other Descendants who have the power to handle the battle, we had to suspend the search and blockade construction. I'm afraid we'll need a rescue operation for Essimo. He was deployed here on a mission to destroy a Vulgus facility, and we've lost contact with his unit. If possible, I think searching for Essimo while we continue with the rest of the mission is a good idea. While our operation was delayed, the Vulgus deployed their forces throughout the swamp. We think they sensed something was up with Jeremy. I got impatient, so I took command and attacked. But because the soldiers couldn't receive their orders in time, we nearly experienced heavy losses. After that, the Vulgus forces increased and rapid deployment of soldiers wasn't feasible. It seems Jeremy used this to his advantage and went deeper into the swamp. So starting now, we'll be focusing on reconnaissance to expand the search area. We have to overextend ourselves a little. We have no choice. Based on the intel from the guide, it's clear Jeremy has some kind of plan in mind. Apparently Jeremy's voice was captured through the Ironheart pulse. However, briefly that was detected. This is what was recorded.
I knew it, I was right. The Vulgus here have all been enhanced through superior DNA. The quality of this Kuiper's perfect, though it would have been good to secure both DNA and Kuiper in advance. Oh yeah.
You heard him, right? DNA, Kuiper. I have no idea what he's talking about, but I know this operation needs to resume quickly. The area where the guide picked up Jeremy's voice is a way off. We've got a long road ahead of us. Regarding Jeremy's defection, the plan is to capture him alive and carry out a detailed interrogation. However, after analyzing the characteristics of the Vulgus DNA and the Kuiper, I think we need to understand Jeremy's motives first, so that we can be 2 steps ahead of him. First off, from the Vulgus DNA collected here, we identified malignant cells, those which have been exposed to void energy. Well, we'd call them malignant cells, but for the Vulgus, they're more of a genetic enhancement. They give them higher bone density and muscle growth. And we've detected high levels of void energy in the Vulgus Kuiper you discovered. To humans, this affected Kuiper is highly contaminated material which cannot be processed and used for any products. But for the Vulgus, It is enhanced Kuiper. Can you see the connection? Both the cells and the Kuiper have been altered as the result of exposure to the void, and both are needed to create enhanced Vulgus. I'm not sure why Jeremy needs them, but I do know where we can find them. The Abandoned Zone. Throughout Ingris's history, it's been identified as the first area to be connected to the Void Dimension, and the worst source of contamination is located in Echo Swamp. That's where we need to go. We can either overtake Jeremy, or at least find traces of him. Huh? Hold on. That's the emergency comm signal.
Is anybody there?
Is it?
This is Essimo. We can't move. We're surrounded by enemy forces.
Essimo, what's your location?
I'm at the abandoned area. I was sent here on a mission to destroy the Vulgus facility. But at this rate, I'll be the one being destroyed.
Like hell you will. Sending reinforcements right now.
Essimo! Essimo, please respond! God damn it! We've lost contact. That wasn't much to go on. Right now, the only thing we can be sure of is that they're nearby. Actually, this works in our favor. This is our chance to rescue Essimo and track down Jeremy. I'll search for traces of Jeremy and the Ironheart with a guide. Please rescue Essimo and take him to the forward base.
As you know, my mission was to remove the source of the contamination in the abandoned area before it spread to Albion. Where you rescued me, near the pipe there, my unit and I were looking for the source of the contamination connected to that pipe. We were on the verge of finding it. But the soldiers in my unit started getting sick, one by one, from some unknown disease, while the Order of Truth seemed to be getting stronger by the day. You know I have a sensitive nose, right? Well, my soldiers and the enemy smelled the same to me, but their symptoms, how the disease affected them, were the opposite of each other. It doesn't make any sense. Once I figured that out, I didn't just sit on my butt. I mobilized all of my men who were able to move and scoured the nearby area. That's when they turned on me. I knew I shouldn't have pushed them so hard. Jeremy showed up, and you know what that idiot said? Albion considers all of you to be expendable. Follow me, and I'll give you power. Let's take down Albion together. It sounded like a bunch of hogwash. But then he took out the Ironheart. And it was the first time any of us had seen something that had seemed like just a rumor. To be honest, it was also the first time I'd seen the real thing in person. And even I thought it was pretty extraordinary. Though because I'd been connected to the guide from the start, I didn't fall for Jeremy's speech. But when that bastard said what he needed for his plan was nearby, one by one, my men pointed their guns at me. What did Jeremy say it was again? What he needed? That's right, a seed storage. And I knew the source of the contamination was there too. My nose told me. You're planning on going to the seed storage now, aren't you? In that case, focus on finding Jeremy. Destroying the source of the contamination, the seed storage, was my original mission. I'll try and recover, and get back on track with that as soon as possible. I'll make sure to blow up whatever it is Jeremy is trying to get his hands on.
That's strange. The enemies stationed at the entrance appear to be intact. Jeremy must have been able to evade them. This must be the high-density Kuiper that Jeremy mentioned. By human standards, this is contaminated waste. It is also identical to the substance mentioned in Alzarok's autopsy report.
What? So what you're saying is Jeremy took it?
There are no access records on this terminal for anyone aside from us. That is all I can discern for now. We must explore deeper. I will focus on detecting pulses from the Ironheart. It seems the Vulgus have established a large-scale Kuiper refinery here, concealed from the vigilant eyes of Albion.
Just the idea that Alzarok exists is proof enough for me that we can't allow this to continue. We will finalize the detonation of the facility, while you eliminate the enemy forces.
Based on data analysis, the high-density Kuiper produced in this cave was used to enhance the Vulgus who occupied this zone.
The Vulgus made a lot of effort to enhance their forces. I admit it, Essimo was right to follow his nose.
The question is, why does Jeremy want this? The substance cannot be used by humans. There are no signs of Jeremy here either. It may be because of the contamination. No. The density of the Kuiper was too low for that.
Jeremy was after high-density Kuiper, and he didn't touch any of this. Check the total amount of Kuiper within the facility.
Oh, is Albion suddenly interested in the Kuiper I refine? How surprising.
There is a larger Kuiper deposit on the other side of the facility, but you should focus on eliminating the enemy first. The scale and density of the Kuiper on the other side of the facility is enough to create Alzarok-level Vulgus for centuries. It probably contains a high level of contamination.
What? Okay, everybody get out. I'm going to blow it to hell right now.
Essimo, don't blow it up yet. Jeremy might still be inside.
Enzo is correct. We have not found any evidence of Jeremy at any of the other Kuiper deposits so far. There may be signs of him on the other side of the facility.
Tide is right. Jeremy will probably be after the Kuiper with the highest density.
I'm so pleased that you came all this way in person, Descendant. I'm curious about the effectiveness of the enhancements of my forces. Would you be so kind as to test them for me?
This Vulgus commander seems to be saying we are the first to arrive. Descendant, we must secure this area before Jeremy can.
Thank you, Descendant. I understand the additional Kuiper density required to enhance my regular troops. Now, time for your reward. A damp, dark place like this is perfect for refining Kuiper. But it's even better for decorating the walls with your insides as I rip you to pieces. What do you think of my proposal? Just you wait. You'll be an excellent source of nutrients for the Tree of Truth. What a wasted opportunity to give the Tree of Truth the taste of Descendant.
It appears that there is another more important zone to the Vulgus than this one. Thankfully, Jeremy did not progress that far. We must destroy this place before he can obtain the Kuiper. If we destroy this location, there will be no suitable zone for Jeremy to obtain high-density Kuiper from. Should he look for Kuiper in an outside source, he will not be able to avoid being detected by us.